Roald Dahl The Twits. So, as you know, we were reading this, and if some of you don't know what we're reading, please go in our previous videos and like and subscribe our channel. So, let's get started. We were on. Do you guys remember where we were on? Because I certainly don't. I'm just kidding, I do. We were on the funny walking stick. So, let's get started. I don't think we're gonna have many meanings today because there aren't any hard meanings in this chapter. So I don't think we're gonna have any hard meanings, okay? So if we do, if you think that something's hard, please write in the comments. I'll make it easier for you. Let's get started. To pay Mrs. Twit back for the worms in his spaghetti, Mr. Twit thought up a really clever, nasty trick. One night, when the old woman was asleep, he crept out of bed and took her walking stick downstairs to his workshed. There he stuck a tiny round piece of wood, no thicker than a penny, onto the bottom of the stick. Next page. Look, let me show you. This is what he's doing. He's in his workshed, and this is the piece of the wood. He's gluing one on her walking stick. This made the stick longer, but the difference was so small. The next morning, Mrs. Twit didn't notice it. The following night, Mr. Twit stuck another tiny bit of wood. Every night, he crept downstairs and added an extra tiny thickness of wood to the end of the walking stick. He did it very neatly so that the extra bits looked like a part of the old stick. Gradually, but oh, so gradually, Mrs. Twit's walking stick was getting longer and longer. Now when something is growing very slowly, it is almost impossible to notice it happening. You yourself, for example, are actually growing taller every day that goes by, but you wouldn't think it, would you? It's happening so slowly you can't even notice it from one week to the next. It was the same with Mrs. Twit walking stick. It was all so low and gradual that she didn't notice how long it was getting, even when it was halfway up to her shoulder. That stick's too long for you, Mr. Twit said to her one day. Why, so it is, Mrs. Twit said, looking at her stick. I have had a feeling there was something wrong, but I couldn't for the life of me think what it was. There's something wrong, all right, Mr. Twit, beginning to enjoy himself. What can have happened? Mrs. Twit said, staring at her old walking stick. It must suddenly have grown longer. Don't be a fool. A fool is a really bad word. I don't think I should tell you the meaning of this, and don't say fool to anyone. This is just a story, like I said. Don't be a fool, Mr. Twit said. How can a walking stick possibly grow longer? It's made out of dead wood, isn't it? Dead wood can't grow. Then what on earth has happened? Cried Mrs. Twit. It's not the stick, it's you, said Mr. Twit, grinning horribly. It's you that's getting shorter. I've been noticing it for some time now. That's not true, cried Mrs. Twit. You're shrinking, woman, said Mr. Twit. It's not possible. Oh, yes, it is. It is. Jolly well it is, said Mr. Twit. You're shrinking fast. You're shrinking dangerously fast. Why, you must have shrunk at least a foot in the last few days. Never, she cried. Of course you have. Take a look at your stick, you old goat, and see how much you have shrunk in comparison. You know, you guys know what comparison means? Comparison means, like, let me give you an example. Like, we're comparing Mrs. Twit against Mr. Twit. And Who do you think is nicer and who started the fight? If you think Mrs. Twit started, please write in the comments. And if you think Mr. Twit started, then please write in the comments too. Okay, let's continue. You have comparison. You have got the strings. That's what you have got. You have got the dreaded strings. Strings. Mrs. Twit began to feel so trembly she had to sit down. This is it. We read the chapter The Funny Walking Stick. And next we're gonna read Mrs. Twit Has the Strings. See? Mrs. Twit has the strings. And I didn't show you the picture of when she has her stick and she's looking at it. Look, this is Mr. Twit, this is Mrs. Twit, and this is her stick, which is getting longer. It was about this long before, now it's here. And let me show you the other picture where her chair gets bigger. I think in this story they're gonna show the chair one because I think this chair is getting bigger too. See? I think it was her old walking stick and her old chair, so that's it. That's it for today. If you like my videos, please write in the comments and like and subscribe. Bye bye. Take care.